No one who can confirm your whereabouts last night. Your daughter says you're a violent man. We have everything we need to send you to death row, and all you have to say for yourself is, I didn't do it.
I swear I didn't kill her. Give me that lie test. I can prove it. Why are you just sitting there?
Why did you burn your shoes, Hugo?
Because I knew you'd never believe me.
Believe what?
It's rabbit's blood. A guy at work brought them in and I helped him skin them.
We found your wife's car. Someone parked it at the school late last night. Do you have anything to say about that?
It wasn't me.
Where do you keep your work clothes?
I keep them at work in my locker.
Enough lies, Hugo. You're
My overall...
green overalls with the initials HM found in the trunk of your wife's car.
They can't be mine.
Why, Hugo? Because if they were yours, they'd be in the incinerator too?
Why are you just sitting there?
Your wife was beaten with a tire iron, Hugo. An appropriate choice of tool for a mechanic.
I know nothing about any tire iron.
You're lying, Hugo. You're gonna have to come clean on this.
You got no proof.
It's like I made a mistake. You're gonna die for this, Mueller. Better give me something if I'm gonna believe your story.
My conscience is clear. You can't badger me into admitting anything. Why are you just sitting there?
Do you know anything about ropes, Hugo?
As much as the next man. I was a scout. I learned some more in the Army.
Do you know anything about braided ropes?
Some. They're mainly used for mooring lines, hawsers, that kind of stuff. We don't have much use for them in the machine shop. We use chain hoists.
Captain, we were on our way to interview Eli Rooney.
Yes, Phelps, I know. This particular fiend is an old acquaintance. I have tried to reaffirm his belief in a wrathful and terrible God. Whichever way it goes, I'll be dealing personally with him.
What are we waiting for?
Mary says he'll sing, but only if I guarantee he walks.
You look like you've had it rough.
See me asking for your sympathy, boy?
You down on your luck, Eli?
I had worse. My family ate roadkill during the Dust Bowl.
But you have a job. A parolee has to have a job, correct?
I had me a job down in San Pedro. I'm looking for something new.
This place you worked have a name?
Hennessy Marine. You can't miss the place. Big yellow letters, HM out front.
They give you any workwear, Eli?
Sure. Green coverall. Dang thing was hot. Felt like I was back in the pen wearing it.
You ever tie up any of your victims, Eli?
It's not a nice thing to go calling them.
What would you call them?
I can't say. I learned a long time ago not to go talking about the things I like. Talking about it just seems to get people's dander up.
Answer the goddamn question, Rooney, before I brain you.
See what I mean? Short answer is yes.
You have any preference regarding rope, Eli?
I know a good rope from a bad rope, if that's what you mean. That's not what you mean, is it? Any old rope will do me fine.
A farm boy like you, Eli, must prefer McGay for roping. Am I right?
I prefer braid. Tie, hitch, and braid. It stays tied.
You killed Mrs. Muller and stole her jewelry.
That ain't so. I ain't done nothing like that.
You have no job and nowhere to live by the smell of things. And you need money. You've been in trouble before, Eli. Who do you think a jury will believe?
I've been in trouble for other things, but I ain't never killed no one. I saw that car coming to the parking lot late last night. Man got changed there and then put his coveralls in the trunk. I saw him drop the butterfly in the lamplight and he strolled out, cool as you like. And I went over and I picked it up.
Eli Rooney, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Deirdre Muller.
You want to put me back in the stir that badly, boy? You go ahead and try. I'll beat that rat. I ain't a killer.
Felt. Congratulations are at hand. Meantime, I'll speak to the deal. We need swift and merciless justice for poor Deirdre.
Lieutenant, 2 regular army.
Lieutenant!
Phelps, we've been over this. That sniper barely missed you back on the beach. Until the mission is over, there'll be no more saluting or signs of rank.
I'm in charge here, Medier!
Do you wish to interrogate the prisoners?
No, they're beat. Why they look so sullen?
You're wondering why we haven't killed them yet. There is no greater shame than being taken prisoner.
Get this, Golden Boy actually seems to know what he's doing.
あなた方の階層と名前を名乗ってください。
第44大部隊所属兵だ。
キッシュマン、何様だと思ってるんだ。
See that, boys? He slapped that Jap right upside the head.
It was merely to remind him of his place. His shame was the tone of voice that he used with a superior. I respect the Japanese, Corporal.
Respect, we're here to kill the sons of bitches.
Do you know why we are fighting the Japanese, Private?
With respect, sir, these bastards attacked Pearl Harbor.
And why did they attack Pearl, Private?
Because they hate the US of A and our way of life.
They attacked the U.S. because we cut off their oil. What would we do if another country denied us the gas to run our cars?
Ah, Phelps. I was just discussing with Finbar here how well you were doing. Have a seat.
Yeah, it's my real name. And you can just forget all about it.
You boys have a new case. A poor Hispanic woman murdered near City Hall and left lying naked in an alleyway.
Another naked woman, sir?
Yes. We seem to have had quite a run of them since the Dahlia fiend first struck.
Phelps is politely trying to hint that he thinks the Mendez case is hokey.
Well, young Phelps, you win some and you lose some in police work.
You're happy with the Mueller case, sir?
Over the moon, boys! The DA couldn't be more pleased with the evidence, the witness, and the lack of an alibi. Now, get out there and catch me another sinner.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
You have the address?
It's the alley off Aliso between Los Angeles and Alameda.
You're kidding. The next one will be opposite Central Station.
Count yourself lucky, Phelps. Most guys would kill to land a case so close to their desk.
Yeah. It means they can pop in to hit the office supply of hooch whenever they need it.
You know, that ain't a bad idea. That is not a bad idea at all, Phelps.
Detectives, they're ready to start the show. I'll take you through.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Brothers, Pinker?
Cause of death is pretty apparent. We thought we'd best wait for you. When you're ready.
If she took a blow to the head like the others, she was probably unconscious when strangled. 21 years old. But why the library card? Did he want us to find it?
Another day, another dollar.
The lacerations on the neck would indicate a great deal of force. Kiss the blood, BD. Another wedding ring torn from the finger. No skin under the fingernails. The evidence in the Mueller case was solid. I'm not convinced about Mendez.
The best way to get away with murder is to pin it on somebody else. I'll bet a month's salary this is a copycat.
Strangled, battered,
Yeah. We know every jerk who kills his wife and girlfriend looking for a way out. I've spoken to Brown. He still believes the Dahlia perp has medical experience.
4 women, all murdered, all put on display, all with messages.
Mueller had no message. Look, Phelps, this is getting us nowhere.
Anything for us to go on, Mal?
Head injuries from contact with road, bruising from a small man's shoe, further blunt force trauma to the occipital region at the base of the skull. Could have been fatal, but clear signs of strangulation would seem to rule it out.
Lipstick appears to be a similar color to the other cases. I'll see if I can nail down a brand.
May as well follow the trail. Antonia. Huh, same as the library card. On it goes.
We kept the area pristine for you boys. Let's check it out.
House keys strung up like bait on a hook. That's got to be a code or a cipher. You think he's trying to lead us somewhere?
Probably all the way to City Hall, that brazen son of a bitch.
Where are you taking us? Empty. Where is all of this meant to be taking us? He clearly wants us to find these things. He's left them for us.
There you go, Phelps. You got a new M.O. I told you it wasn't our guy.
Or he might just be getting more confident. Enameled and gold-plated. This was precious to her. The trail points up. Pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Looks as though the killer was decorating with this. Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going? It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband we should be looking for. Get him, we've closed the case.
Rusty's razor, of course. I don't want to question your tried and tested techniques, Detective Galloway. But doesn't the DA require sound casework before he'll close the book?
Not if he's got a confession. And, you know, there's ways of getting those.
I'm sure.
Wait just a moment. I'm sorry. Can I help?
Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPente, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. Look at that. Someone's turned the place over.
Okay, we have an address. A smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife to serve me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I've no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
A nosy old hag like you knows everything about the people who live under her roof. Where did she go?
I think she went to a bar. She's been drinking quite a lot lately.
This bar have a name?
El Dorado Bar. It's a Latino place on North Los Angeles Street.
That's only a couple of blocks from where we found the body.
You've had a break-in?
No! That can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So Antonia lost her keys and used an iron bar to jimmy the back window?
I heard a noise in the early hours of the morning. I thought it might be a raccoon at the milk bottles. It'd be very bad for business if this news got out. I have a reputation to protect.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
We can either front Angel, seeing as the finger's pointing right at him, or we could check out the El Dorado bar.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed? A nosy old hag? Ha! And I thought I was coming on strong with the ex-wives line.
Sometimes you have to be firm to get the information you need.
God damn it, ain't that the truth?
What can I get you?
LAPD. Detectives Phelps and Galloway.
Diego Aguilar. How can I help?
You worked the bar last night?
Yeah. Me and a temp guy from the agency.
Did you have a woman in here last night? 21 years old, Hispanic, drinking heavily?
We have a lot of ladies like that in here. But yeah, I know who you mean. Antonia Maldonado. So what did she do?
She was murdered last night.
Oh, shit.
Do you know her well? Was she a regular?
Hell no. She was good and tight last night, complaining about her old man. It's a story you get used to working in a bar. She was so hammered last night, she left a letter on the bar. I'll show you.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
Where's that goddamn...
Say, honey, what time do you get off waiting tables?
Divorce papers. Did you open them?
No need to. She was shouting about it and waving the letter around. Said she was going to show him.
Can you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
She had a necklace. Some kind of religious thing, I think. The temp guy would have more of an idea. She took the beer he served her and cried into it all night.
What time did she leave?
Can't say for sure.
Where did she go? Give me something or the LAPD will start getting interested in this place.
Take it easy. She wanted a cab, okay? And my phone was out of order. The closest one I knew was at the fruit market across the street, so I suggested she try there. She seemed reluctant.
Did Antonia say where she was going when she left?
She said she was going to serve the papers on the husband. Said that would take the smile off his face. If you ask me, she was scared. And the drink was for Dutch courage.
She attract any interest?
An extremely drunk young woman? What do you think? She managed to scare them off, though.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
No problem. Hey, get the guy, will you?
We'll do our best. One last question. What size shoe do you take, Mr. Aguilar?
A broad 9. I have wide feet.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
Sam is taken.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
Sir, do you work here?
Sorry, pal, just making deliveries.
From where?
Just Pig Fruit Market across the street.
A fruit market delivers here?
Yeah, sure does. The Mexes love a little slice with their tequila.
Fine, thanks.
Where's that car?
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
How about we drop in on the husband instead? See if your gut is right.
I'll take a bar over a husband every day of the week.
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got a heart.
Now look, I don't want...
This is going to end in tears.
Damn, they got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no!
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, goddammit! You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place a going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movement.
Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place.
What do you want?
LAPD. We're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
No good. There's nobody here.
Sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD. Were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello.
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch.
I kept thinking you were going to call that one a nosy old hag too, Phelps. Well-executed restraint.
I'm executing restraint right now, Finbar. Phelps, 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
Are there any messages for me?
Message from Captain Donnelly, Detective. Your presence is requested urgently at Central Station. A new letter from the Dahlia killer has been found.
Thanks, ma'am.
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear?
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Think there's anything to the divorce angle?
I've been through 3, Phelps. No big deal. After a while, you just numb yourself to the experience.
But Angel, he's a young Latino man. It would hurt his sense of who he is. He'd see himself as a failure, a woman taking control over his life.
Then she fronts him and he snaps. Works for me. That makes Angel a killer as well as a piece of shit.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
Hey.
This guy must have escaped from the loony bin.
The thing was, he was a really nice guy. I felt bad.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all the fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.
That's why we called you in.
Do you think it's original?
Not unless he's a genius.
You like this nutjob's poem?
No, I like Shelley. It was written at least 100 years ago.
Shelley? Sure, I knew that.
You see, Finnis? I told you this lad was a bright boy.
Sure, but what has it got to do with the case?
Prometheus Unbound. Prometheus was a titan, a superhuman character who defied the gods to bring fire to humanity.
The Dahlia guy believes he's Superman.
Your guess is as good as mine. One thing for sure is that he's educated. What about the link to the Henry case?
He could have got the wording from the papers. As you said, he is fiendishly clever and takes pleasure in taunting us. What's happening with the Maldonado case?
We have the husband in custody. We haven't interviewed him yet.
Well, upstairs then, lads, and see if we can break him.
That's the guy from...
Improved your attitude, Angel?
What do you want me to say? I was with Antonia the night she died, but she left the apartment, and that was the last time I saw her.
So your wife paid you a visit last night. What time was that?
Late, around midnight, maybe? She didn't stay long.
Think you killed her.
You're out of your mind.
You're arguing that your wife ran out, that you followed her, and didn't come back.
I know this looks bad, but it's not true. We argued, all right, but she went out, and I went out after her, and she jumped in a car on the corner.
There was a car waiting for her? Can you describe the driver?
Not the driver. It was too dark. But the car, it was a brown Ford coupe.
You and your wife weren't getting along. She was divorcing you. Is that why you killed her?
We fought, yeah, but we weren't getting a divorce.
I don't believe you, Angel. She'd been granted a decree nisi. She pushed you too far, and you lashed out.
I told you, I wouldn't accept a divorce.
The judge had set a date. You were going to be paraded in front of the whole city for your cruelty to her, Angel.
Antonia. Oh, Jesus. She came in drunk, out of her mind. She doesn't normally drink. She was looking around in her bag. Said she wanted to serve me papers. Me, her own husband. So I slapped her down. She ran out. That's the truth.
What size shoe do you wear, Angel?
Size 8. What difference does that make?
When we found your wife, her jewelry had been removed. Was she wearing her religious medallion last night?
Sure. She always wore that.
What about the charm bracelet? Was she wearing that?
You know about that? She never wore it. She didn't like the message. She kept it locked up in that box of hers.
Your wife has been brutally murdered. So how do you explain your shirt being covered in blood?
You found that? I cut myself shaving.
You're lying through your teeth. You killed her and your brother's in on it.
You don't know what you're saying. Why would I do that?
You're off the hook. For now. We're typing the blood, Angel. Won't look good if it matches your wife.
As God is my witness, I didn't kill her!
One last question, Angel. Do the words kiss the blood mean anything to you?
No. Sounds sick to me.
You're not in the clear by any means, Angel. You're going back into a cell. You should think about whether you have anything else you need to share with us. Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
Another letter? I thought the letter was from a nut.
These letters, Brown and Hanson believe they are genuine. From him.
Now we sent another.
You know, I really hate this fuck. This Black Dahlia guy. Have you seen the body? Fucking case is not the way of his guts. Hollywood. Every prom queen from every fucking hick town in America turns up here. Where do they end up? Gutted on the fucking sidewalk.
The handbag was left just up there, overlooking the market.
Could have come here from the start and saved ourselves a day's legwork.
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She had me back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Hey, don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
Hey, Cole, let's get moving. What are we waiting for?
Just don't know how to dance to bebop.
Are you working Friday night? We should go out afterwards.
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
I got a call back for that Universal Chorus line.
What are we waiting for?
to dance to bebop.
Hey, Cole, let's get moving.
Are you working Friday night? We should go out afterwards.
What are we waiting for? Hey, Cole, let's get moving. No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
Are you working Friday night? We should go out afterwards.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. They must have seen it during the war.
So what are we hiding in here? This thing needs a combination.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Sir, Wait, you look familiar.
Hey, from the bar, right? What brings you here?
LAPD, Detective Phelps and Galloway.
Clem Feeney. What can I do for you?
Did you happen to see a young woman last night? 21 years old, Hispanic?
Sure, she came by last night. Why do you ask?
She was wearing a necklace?
I didn't notice.
You weren't paying attention, Feeney?
Hey, you're getting the wrong idea.
Exactly how much fruit do you sell here after midnight, Clem?
Look, not much. I sell the odd bottle on the side to the after-hours crowd. Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm just trying to make a buck.
The young lady arrived around midnight?
Yeah, something like that. Used the phone for a cab and then left.
You already knew Mrs. Maldonado, didn't you, Clem?
Sure, I met her before. She seemed like a nice lady. Her husband went apeshit one day when he caught me talking to her. She hadn't been back until last night.
Where did she go from here?
She wanted a cab, but I couldn't get her one. I was about to offer to drive her, but a car pulled up and she got into that.
Can you describe the car?
Brown Ford Coupe, I think. She seemed to know the guy.
Do you mind if we look around?
Why would you want to do that?
Because we say so.
I guess you can. Don't you have to get a court order or something? I have rights.
Clem? Shh. No wonder he stays open late at night. People have to get their vitamins. Check through this stuff before we get back out there.
Why cut someone who was already dead?
It's a typical power thing. Once the stiff is dead, the creep usually feels they can do whatever they like. They must have seen it during the war.
Are you working Friday night? We should go out afterwards.
So what are we hiding in here?
This thing needs a combination.
This fruit stall punk gets about 10 seconds to explain before I pull his fucking arms off.
Clem!
God damn it, get after him, Cole! I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck.
We should have grabbed him when we had the chance, Phelps.
When we had the chance, we didn't know he was our guy.
Phelps, you gotta get me closer.
Strange that he'd leave a trail of blood right back to his own market.
Maybe he wanted to be caught. A lot of them do.
It's almost too perfect, isn't it?
There's no such thing as too perfect.
Hit him! Clean this asshole off the road.
You're a sick man, Clem. You need help.
Outstanding job on this case, gentlemen. The poor woman can now rest in peace. I'll pay the fiend a personal visit myself and remind him that crime in this city does not go unpunished. When they finish with him at the receiving hospital, we'll have him up before the grand jury. I have a meeting this afternoon with the mayor lads. I'll be sure to mention your names. Now, on your way.
Sarge, why are the guys giving it to the doggies? They're riding in trucks, numbskull, while you're marching.
They look pretty badly beat up.
Yeah, they do at that. Scuttlebutt says it's pretty hard going down south.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. Recon always leads. How can we fail, Skip, with the Shadow leading the show? Who the fuck is the Shadow? Lieutenant Phelps, the Shadow of Death.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He's a quiet fucker, Sarge. Never hear the bastard coming. You're sitting there, field stripping a cigarette, and suddenly he's there looking down on you.
Why do you think we keep saluting that Jap-loving son of a bitch? He's bad juju.
That's enough out of you three. Bad juju? Where were you dragged up? A swamp?
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case.
If you were twice
Ray
as smart.
Pinker will let us
That bum took a swipe at me. I put him down.
Greetings from sunny California. When's it going to stop?
First the letter, and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363.
You catch all the good ones, Phelps.
No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene. Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am. You've been a big help.
Of course. Anything I can do to help. I'd hate to think that something so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Superior Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks for your help. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed? No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written onto them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, all right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand? At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
Please, I have business to run.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Mrs. T. Terrellson. You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed? I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic type show a particular disposition for this stuff. What are we waiting for?
Looks like a match with the ligature marks.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Terrellson? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Terrellson?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss. I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Terrellson, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think
it's procedure. You see to your girls.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Terrellson? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Terrellson? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually...
To check if she was a regular. If you'd excuse me, ladies. So she went out without her handbag? She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind. At least she was spared that particular indignity. Lars was out in the rain last night. We can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene.
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies. For the record, Mr. Terrellson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
So you don't know anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Baron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
In sickness and in health. To love and to cherish, Lars.